I understand why Enlisted gets dismissed at first glance. After all, what is Enlisted but yet another squad-based multiplayer tactical hardcore historical first-person shooter? You'll find all the played-out tropes here. The famous battles, the iconic weapons, the orchestral music, we've seen it all before, repeatedly. I mean, how many times can we be expected to grab our M1 Garands and storm the beaches on D-Day? For Enlisted, the tip of the iceberg is as generic as they come. It's cold, indistinguishable from the hundreds of others in your sight, and not nearly captivating enough for normal people to want to interact with. But you? Icebergs are your thing, bro, and just the thought of exploring this new one elicits the Pavlovian response of you pulling out your wallet. But 2 minutes into your quest to find literally anything new or exciting in these games, you stumble across a familiarly marked gravestone. It reads, "Here lies my beloved horse, Normandy. Beaten beyond death by game developers in the 21st century, may he rest in peace. Please, seriously, for the love of God, leave his memory alone." Supposedly, we're living in the new golden age of historical shooters, but I think they've dulled our senses to the point of being nothing more than a faint odor in a room or the background scenery of the Steam store that day. And much like the way your brain doesn't notice your nose and your peripheral vision, you probably don't even notice this genre anymore. It gets caught in nature's spam filter. And in the current FPS market, it's no surprise that Enlisted gets glossed over faster than your 4-month employment gap during a job interview. I mean, shit. Why'd you even have to bring that up? But if you enjoy sailing these icy, overcharted waters, stop by Enlisted, dive in, and take a look deeper. Because there's actually something special under the surface. Enlisted is an open beta entree, served with all of your favorite sides. The large timepiece landscapes, a historically accurate arsenal, overly lengthy multiplayer battles, clunky as fuck menus, awkward movement, and a deeper level of customization than any sane human would ever fucking ask for. But it's free to play. Enlisted is gorgeous. The lighting in particular really stands out, and the weapon models are fantastic. I love the welding on top of this M3 SMG, the sleek scope of the Springfield Sniper, and the borderline useless over-under sights on the Kar 98K. There's character here. In fact, the weapons have more personality than your squad mates. They're the real deal, and true to their real-life counterparts, they handle with a charmingly mechanical sort of click-clack, reminiscent of old-school shooters like COD 2. The reload animations are more than adequate, and the hit detection is on point. But perhaps the most surprising aspect of this open beta experience is that it fucking works. On all levels, the matchmaking is near instant. It loads quickly, runs beautifully, and I had no trouble partying up with friends whatsoever. How many games can you say that about today? Here's how long it takes to get into a match in Enlisted. The functionality packed into this minuscule 15 gigabyte file amazes me, and honestly, it feels like shots fired directly at Warzone. The soundscape is audioly erotic, and the environment is truly beautiful and immersive. I found serenity in the first moments of every match. I looked up at that peaceful, partly cloudy skybox and actually began to admire the designer's choice in color palette. It's in the Goldilocks zone for me. It's not too colorful like some oversaturated Fortnite montage fever dream, but it's also not the overcasted, washed-out shade of brown-gray born from the burnt-out, lifeless husk of the Modern Warfare Humvee's beige interior. It's nice. It's the French countryside at its finest. Well, since 1943. The sound of seagulls has never hit harder. Waves wash over my headphones and hit the beach, and I'm fully immersed. I'm no longer at the desk in my office, I'm there, and I'd only just lost myself in it when the dude right in front of me gets shot in the face, and I lose all 8 of my squad mates to that fucking spawn-killing, radio-operating dick and his artillery strikes. My best soldiers were in this squad, fucker. And they were kitted out too, with 15 game-grinding hours worth of weapons, explosives, and perks. I finally had that new assault trooper I wanted to try, now he's dead. I'm alone, completely surrounded at the objective, defending it from the horde. The destructible terrain starts doing its thing, it's reshaping the map like Hexus from Fern Gully, and the dive-bombing fighter in the sky is screaming bloody murder. But we've seen this all before. Literally exactly this. Battlefield 1 set the bar for historical shooters, and Enlisted doesn't even come close. It's immersive, sure, but DICE has been doing this for decades, and BF1 is top-notch. So why would you, as a fan of historical shooters, waste your time on something that seems on the surface to be more of the same? A cheap Chinese knockoff, the next fad. Because Enlisted offers something new, a fresh squad mechanic for the entire FPS genre, something so intuitive it makes me think, how has this not been done before? And if it is a fad, then Enlisted will be to the squad shooters fad as Titanfall was to the advanced movement fad, a pioneer, a game changer, a floodgate opener. Other games will implement squad-based mechanics as seen in Enlisted, maybe even Battlefield. Enlisted brings me back to Titanfall in another way too. Like in Titanfall, the maps are filled out with subhuman AI soldiers who exist solely for your own personal reckoning pleasure. The kill feeds are huge. The battle feels way larger than it actually is. The meat grinder is constantly running at full speed, and when you're on the good end, you feel like an absolute shredder. But on the wrong side, well, it's a bitch to die in any game where the time to kill is this low. It often leaves you feeling like you didn't even have a chance. In games where you die in an instant, respawn timers feel like Monday long. Or what about PUBG? You just walked for 30 minutes, actual time, only to end up on the screen of a guy AFKing in a bush who hurries back from his just chatting tab to wreck you instantly with a single lucky shot? But we take that trade. We take the good with the bad because we know we could do the same right back to them. It hurts to get punished, but it feels fucking great to be the punisher. And in my opinion, this is the greatest appeal of the hardcore shooter. But where Enlisted truly stands out from the competition is in your ability to hot swap between squad mates at any time. That's it. It's that simple. Enlisted takes that hardcore appeal and ditches the downtime. It lives almost entirely in that moment of uncertainty, where two adversaries spot each other and race to get on target first. It takes those moments, stretches them out, and savors them. It's such a simple thing, but it solves the biggest problem plaguing the post-scriptums of the world, balancing the hardcore side of the genre with the walking simulator side, all while adding a deeper level of strategy and required awareness. When you die in Enlisted, you can and should immediately swap bodies with a squad mate. You can temporarily give your dumbass AI companion a sweaty, try-hard, Dorito-dusted soul. You're right back in the action. After a death, you instantly pick up where you left off. Got picked from a sniper in that window? Swap to your sniper, pick him right back. Of course, after this, he'll swap into his gunner and lay waste to your general vicinity while his squad mates res the sniper and he orders them to start flanking you. Enlisted takes the hardcore shooter damage model and reduces the death penalty, turning every 1v1 gunfight into a 9v9 chess match, a first-person stratego, a battle of positioning and strategy with the potential to drop sick kill feeds constantly. I'll never get tired of turning a corner and seeing 16 enemy soldiers packed into a bunker like sardines, thinking, how many can I get before I die? Cause yeah, I'm fucked. No way out of this one for old Oscar Johnson, but while you frantically and hilariously try to empty the entire 5-shot magazine of your bolt-action rifle, your mind races because your squad waits for orders outside. I could switch to my assault trooper, run in guns ablazing, but nah, they know I'm here. The element of surprise is gone. I'll swap to my engineer. He's still carrying his C4. There's a window right here. But they're just bots. You really get off on that? Yeah, I do. The AI can and will kill you, but they are bots, and they really suck, even by bot standards. However, their true utility is in offering instant repositioning to the player in control. At any moment, one of those bots will be inhabited by a human gamer boy that wants to fuck you in the ass for killing his flame trooper, and the teamfight devolves into a sort of Nazi whack-a-mole where your job is to find and destroy the one soldier who looks like he just had a rectal G-Fuel infusion, aka a Twitch enema. You only truly beat an opponent in Enlisted when you've killed his entire squad, with headshots. If you haven't blown your cover yet, you can wipe a squad with a little more elegance. Try to pick off an unaware player's squad before he stops living entirely in his sniper scope and realizes that, hey, they've been kind of quiet for a while. I get off by imagining the denial he experiences when he realizes I've got him by the balls, but he keeps trying to swap into his squad mates' cold corpses anyway. Wrecked. In conclusion, Enlisted is a deserving investment of your time, worth every cent of its asking price.